Good morning, everybody. I am back on my bridge, and the sun is coming up earlier, which is super nice, not so dark. So I just listened to an interview with Stephen Covey that Tony Robbins did back when he did his personal power two, the driving force. And Stephen is such a great mind and an innovator in terms of how to approach things. Now, his book is Seven Habits for Highly Effective People. If you've not read the book, or if you've not read it recently, I cannot encourage you enough to go take a look at it. Now, Stephen wrote that for businesses. He wrote it so that businesses could figure out how to organize themselves. But as is the case with any good book on guiding things, it works for everything. It's just like, the big book that Alcoholics Anonymous uses. You don't have to have an addiction problem with alcohol or drugs in order to find benefit with that book. That book is a great book on just how to live your life. Well, Seven Habits was written for businesses, but it's great for everything, families, individuals, it doesn't matter. And the two things that, every one of the seven habits is incredibly valuable and needs to be followed. But the two things that I always hear when I listen to Stephen talk is number one, when he talks about leadership, he talks about how true leaders come from a place of service. And that's the case in everything. That's the case if you're a parent. That's the case if you're the leader of an organization. That's the case in your relationships, whatever it is, that you want to make deposits into the emotional bank account, and you do that by serving others. And that when you serve others and you make deposits into that emotional bank account, you've created a win-win situation between the two of you so that there's a trust and there's an openness. And he talks about, like with kids, if you've invested into that bank account with them, then you can say something like, the money for your allowance is in the box. You can take what you think you've earned, or you can take what you think is the right amount for this time, or you can come home tonight when you think is an appropriate time. If you've invested enough into that emotional bank account, you're able to make a decision like that and say, you and I are honest enough and open enough, and you know what's right. You know what you need to do right now. You can do that with kids. You can do that with coworkers. You can do that with a boss. And if you are a boss, then you can do that with the people that you are managing, that you're managing it together. So the first thing that I get out of him is, leaders come from a place of service, that you're really desiring to serve others. And that's true with the great leaders of the world. Dr. King never intended to lead the civil rights movement. He was just a great servant to the civil rights movement, and he was so eloquent that the movement grabbed him and said, you need to speak on our behalf. And that's how he ended up being the head of that. Same is true with Gandhi. Gandhi was very shy. He was trained as an attorney in England, and then came back and saw what was wrong with India at the time, and decided, sorry, I was saying hi Megan, was wrong with India at the time, and he started serving the idea of the people that were being discriminated against. Because of that service, he then was pushed up to become the leader, but he never really wanted to do that. So number one that I get from listening to Covey is the idea of leadership comes out of a place of service. Number two that I always get from him is be a team player. The people that are the most successful are not the ones that are draconian in terms of how they rule things. Can you be successful and be a draconian nightmare? Yeah, you can. But are those the most successful people? No. Even if they're successful financially, it doesn't mean that they're going to be personally successful, because it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost of lack of trust. It comes at a cost of lack of respect for each other. It comes at a cost of tension and stress. So it comes at a physical and health cost. So if you know somebody that's successful by throwing things around and yelling and screaming and being a complete difficult person to deal with, when you find that person, are they really truly happy? And the answer is typically no. The people that are truly happy understand how to be a team player, and they understand the concept of a win-win. They understand that, and it's, again, makes sense that this coincides with being a servant leader, right? If I'm a leader that serves, it's a win-win. And we do this together. We take care of our team. And you got a lot of teams. Your family's a team. Your community is a team. Your church is a team if you're part of one. I'm part of a Anthony Robbins organization. I'm part of a law organization. I'm part of a team at my office. I'm part of a team of friends that I interact with. I'm part of a family team. And if you take care of your team, and again, that emotional bank account idea, that's a term that he uses that I think is really a great metaphor for what he's trying to talk about. If you take care of your team will take care of you, and you'll be able to create the outcomes that you're looking for. So leaders come out of a place of service. They make deposits into their emotional bank accounts. Be a team player. Figure out how to take care of your team. Figure out how to do something special to show your team how much you care about them. And in return, they're going to take care of you, and it's going to be a win-win. And that's really what we all want. Because at the end of the day, you can have a pile of things, but if you're on top of that pile alone because you've been such a jerk your whole life that nobody wants to be around you, how fun is that? Is that fulfilling? So then what happens? Well, then those people give everything away trying to buy their soul back. Instead, why not everybody gets on the pile of things, and the pile of things are fine, but then you can really make a difference in other people's lives, and that's what really matters. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Let's say hi, Mr. Lampy and Mr. Dakin on all the time. CC, I hope everything is great down in your neck of the woods. It's great to see you. Wendy, great to see you too down in Florida. It's finally starting to feel nice here. Miss Kaufman, great to see you this morning. And Christina, thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I truly appreciate it. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.